Hey, you. You like dry bones? Yeah? Well, me too. Do you like Mario Kart? Yeah? Well, you shouldn't, because Mario Kart hates dry bones. I mean, they give tracks to everyone in this franchise, with tons of Mario and Donkey Kong tracks. You'd think they throw a bone over at Dry Bones every once in a while and give him his own track, right? Well, no. Alright, let me calm down, because in this video, I'm gonna talk about a few Mario Kart characters that I think deserve their own tracks, as well as give Nintendo ideas as to how to bring these tracks to life. So take notes, Nintendo. Now let's get into it. Alright, I guess I might as well start off by talking about Mr. Dry Bones himself. If you couldn't tell by my profile picture, this bundle of bones is my favorite Mario Kart character and just one of my favorite Mario characters in general. And no, Bone Dry Dunes is not a Dry Bones track. I don't care that he shows up near the end of the race for a bit. As far as ideas for this track goes, obviously, I'd want a bunch of dry bones scattered around the track, and I believe some should even throw some bones at you like they did in Super Mario World. Another dynamic a dry bones track can add is being able to break something in the track in one lap and then it gets rebuilt in the next lap. Maybe there could be a shortcut guarded by a giant dry bones, but it collapses if you throw a green shell at it. Then after a few seconds, boom, the dry bones regenerates, leaving some poor soul yearning for the shortcut. As for the overall environment of the track, I would say a graveyard would be my choice, because putting dry bones in a haunted mansion would be too similar to Boo's Twisted Mansion track, and we already have a bone-infested desert with Bone Dry Dunes. So unless you want a dry bones track set in an airport, I believe the dry bones graveyard would be a great addition to Mario Kart. The next character, or should I say characters I believe should have their own track, is Bowser Jr and the Koopalings. This is kind of an ironic pick for me, because I personally am not a big fan of the Koopalings. Or should I say, I'm not a fan of all the character slots they take up in Mario Kart 8. But hey, my bias doesn't keep me from admitting a Bowser Jr and Koopaling castle would go hard. But how would Bowser Jr.'s castle be different from his dad's? I think Bowser Jr.'s track would be a mix between Bowser's castle and Baby Park. Sure, maybe Bowser Jr. isn't exactly a baby, but he sure acts like one in the games he's in. Maybe in Bowser Jr.'s castle, he can have stuff lying around like his paintbrush and clown cart, and maybe just a few toys lying around. The only problem is, this would be too similar to the Ribbon Road track in Mario Kart 8, but that's why this track would be in a castle and we'd have a bunch of Koopaling items lying around, like the little staffs they carry and such. So yeah, that's my idea for a Bowser Jr. track. Another character I think should have their own track is Miss Pauline herself. Now, I'm gonna be honest, Pauline isn't exactly one of my top tier Mario characters. If I were to tell you the amount of times I've thought about Pauline before making this video, I'd say it's 0. I'm sorry, Pauline fans. But the main reason I want a Pauline track is because that could be Nintendo's chance to let us race around the iconic new Donk City from Super Mario Odyssey. And it would be cool to race around the city in the nighttime while Jump Up Superstar plays in the background, with the band just playing it at full blast. Pauline's track could be like a mix between New Donk City and the Music Park track in my opinion. And Nintendo's no stranger to turning real cities into Mario Kart tracks, but man, now I'm curious as to why they didn't just give us New Donk City instead of, I don't know, any of the 50 cities they gave us in the DLC, but oh well, maybe in Mario Kart 9. Fingers crossed. Things are getting explosive because the next character that I think should have his own track is King Bob-omb. Sure, maybe King Bob-omb is only playable in Mario Kart Tour, but if the Mario Kart Racing Wiki counts him as a Mario Kart character, then so will I. I think a King Bob-omb track can be made one of two ways. Either we see a Bob-omb Battlefield track, where it's pretty self-explanatory what that track would look like. You would just race your way to the top of the battlefield where King Bob-omb resides in, dodging smaller Bob-ombs along the way. Or instead of this track, we can just get a Bob-omb factory. So similar to Toad's factory from the Wii, but with Bob-ombs being made instead of whatever Toad was making there in his factory. But something tells me that Mario Kart fans would raid Nintendo's house if we got a Bob-omb factory before the return of Toad's factory. So maybe we should stick with Bob-omb Battlefield instead. Another character I think would have a cool Mario Kart track is the Honey Queen. Alright, before you make fun of me for this choice, I want you to imagine racing through a Honeyhive track, sticking on walls covered in honey, bees flying around you. Now do you see why I chose this character? Super Mario Galaxy is one of my top 2 favorite Mario games, and the Honeyhive Galaxy is my favorite galaxy in it. It's just so charming and iconic in my opinion as a galaxy, and I believe Nintendo believes this to an extent because of them including the Honey Queen as a playable character in Mario Kart 7. But unfortunately, there is an incredibly small choice we'll get to race around Honeyhive Galaxy anytime soon, since the Queen herself was banned from appearing in any other Mario Kart game. One can only dream. My next pick is arguably more popular than the Honey Queen, and that is the magical sorcerer Kamek. This guy is one of the top dogs when it comes to popular Nintendo characters, and I believe it is really only a matter of time until we get a Kamek-themed Mario Kart track. The possibilities are endless with it. There can be sections of the track that can grow and shrink the way Kamek makes things grow with his wand in any previous Mario games. Random enemies can spawn around the track as you race through it, or even better, crazy things like gravity being changed in the blink of an eye can also happen in the Kamek track. You get where I'm going with this? Nothing is off the table with this guy. As for the setting of the track goes, maybe a sort of Castlevania-esque environment would be cool. Just a sorcerer's chamber with potions adorning the walls and stuff of the track. There can even be a huge cauldron in the middle of the track you have to jump over. Alright, I should stop giving Nintendo these ideas for free. The final character I believe should get a Mario Kart track is... drumroll please... Pink Gold Peach.